And it's Adam Post, and I'm with Phil Diaz from Zaid Comics, one of the two Diaz brothers, Los Hermanos Magicop, as I like to call them. Why? Because there's a lot of love there. There's a hell of a lot of love there.
That's right, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's great to be with you. And when you first launched this book, I got out of the groove of streaming, so I kind of wasn't around. But I was a pretty big supporter of Magicop, really excited for you. And your brother would kind of be like just getting out there doing your first book. And I missed pushing the Lost Pages very much, but you didn't miss pushing the Lost Pages. Great. You're everywhere.
Yeah, never. You got to hustle, right? So
yeah, you're doing a great job.
Hey,
it's Dillard Draws.
Yeah, John Dillard's here. What's up, man?
You know, John Dillard's got a killer voice, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I envy his voice.
Yeah, we all do. We had a great stream, and I was talking more like John Dillard, but I don't have a cigarette. But he really is. He's funny. He's a cool character. So, and I actually do want to do some regular like panel streams and have some fun. I definitely want you in on the game. We've streamed together a lot before in the past. I just need to kind of get the groove going. And my discipline has been get with somebody cool, do their book at 9 o'clock every night. So this is like, I think, night 7 or so. We're in the game. So everybody definitely subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. That is a huge help. Doesn't cost any money. It just costs a little tiny bit of effort. And we're going to get into this with Phil and talk about the Lost Pages. There's a lot to the Lost Page. It's a much more ambitious project, which, of course, I love to see. I always overdo things. Hey, Violet, what's happening? Hey, El Gargoyle. So, yeah, it's really ambitious. And it started off with getting a Simon Bisley cover, but you didn't just kind of rely on like, well, all there is going for this is a Simon Bisley cover. This is a whole universe, right? This is really your like, hey, this is your Philoverse.
That's right. Yeah.
A little bit of Brandon thrown in.
Yeah, this is our Zaid Comics, kind of like hero universe that we're going with right now. This is basically where it all started for my brother and I doing comics. The first character that we ever came up with and kind of started going down the comics route was the first character in this story who's called the Silhouette. And the Silhouette was this idea we had. It started off as a joke. Basically, if you had a character, and instead of, how the shadow turns into a shadow, what if there was a character that was just always a shadow and he could never turn back?
I like that.
So it started as a joke, and back in the day in 2012, we published short runs of these comics that were not illustrated. They were photographs of myself and my friends in front of a green screen, and my brother would Photoshop them. And we still have
well, hold on, let me get that so low. There's photos of you in a comic?
Yeah, so
okay. You're silhouetted.
Of the silhouette, there's like a big explosion there. That's just me in front of a green screen, and my brother would Photoshop it and make it look like a comic. We went to the old Wizard World, Chicago Comic Con.
That's cool.
Some copies. But I don't think we even printed over 50 of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Where it started, and from the Silhouette it grew out, and we had more characters. When I went to college, we took a break from doing that, but I was still writing these stories.
So, question about Silhouette. So the Silhouette is kind of like your heart started with that because that was like, hey, that was the thing that really got it going.
Yeah.
The Silhouette, is he a hero, an anti-hero, a villain?
So he is a hero in the fact of like how Spawn is a hero, or how the old Steve Ditko character Mr. A. If you ever seen that character, that's a really old character. Mr. A it's kind of this character that inspired characters like The Question or Rorschach. I would say he's like a supernatural vigilante,
Okay.
Would best describe him. His whole thing is he doesn't know his past or where he came from. He thinks at one time he was human, and then throughout his series we'll learn more about that. This is a very interesting character. Doesn't really know where he came from, and he has these abilities to walk through walls, make weapons out of shadows. He could lift people up by their shadow, throw them around. He has a pretty cool car that we'll see in the series in the future that's made of shadows. So yeah, it started with him, and these other characters you're seeing spiraled into that universe, to the point where I'm like, we have so much material here. I want to introduce these characters to the fan base at once, rather than spend 7 years doing their own series and then having them meet up,
Sure.
because they do meet up eventually. We'll see that soon here.
Sure. So this is really like an anthology.
Yeah, I would say it's more like Frank Miller's Sin City, where you have this one universe, all these characters live in the same, some are from different cities, but the same basic, Sin City city, and you get little vignettes about them. But the
Okay.
cool thing is, eventually they're going to team up, you meet each other, and save the world.
Now you have it's 66 pages now. You added pages as you hit stretch goals, right?
So what we did with the stretch goals is we had a bonus comic, which we added stories to, which is this comic right here, the Myths of the Lost pages. We added stories every time we hit a stretch goal. But yeah, it was originally going to be 60 pages, and I think it's 68 now with the interior covers and stuff like that for the
Cool.
regular book. And then for the bonus book, now that we've hit so many stretch goals, that's like 56 pages. So it's basically, on this campaign, it's like we put out 2 books.
Oh, that's a cool way to do it. So you were able to add pages as you're hitting the stretch goals. You knew your budgets were working,
Right.
and you could do it. So did you have different creators? All right, on the main book, how many different creative teams did you have?
So on the main book with the Simon Bisley cover, we had 4 different creators. Each story, which there's 4 stories in there, it's 4 different artists on it. And the cool thing there as well, the story is basically one. It is woven together by this subplot of a homeless man telling these tales to other homeless people, kind of around that classic, 90s hobo in front of a trash fire.
Excuse me, just one moment.
Yeah.
Trevor! Good to see you too, Trevor. You can't ignore that. What's up, Leg Kick? Great to see you, Trevor. Great to see you, Hockey. Thanks for dropping in. Guys, of course, make sure you subscribe. I really want to get, I had Graham Nolan on. I think it was last night. He's fantastic. I was like, I think I can keep him more, but I'm like, I got to let him do his Graham Nolan stuff. I really, he's very interesting. He has such a huge background, and I didn't know the first thing he ever sold was writing. He wrote his first story that he sold to DC.
Oh, wow.
When he talks about writing, that's a writer.
Yeah.
So I just have so many questions for him. But yeah, he's phenomenal. And Chanu just shipped. Everybody's getting their Chanus.
Yeah.
Well, back to what we're focused on, the Lost Pages, and Trevor and Violet, of course. But back to the Lost Pages. So you had 4 creative teams. So there's 4 different stories.
Yeah.
Roughly 15 pages each.
Yeah, around there. It's
give or take, 10, depending.
10 to 14 pages. Yeah.
That's it. It can be hectic, but that's very cool. We put books together that way, in the past, and that's great because you can get so much done so quickly. But it can still be great work. I just happened to a couple of things really caught my eye in your book.
Whoa, he kicked himself. It's just me now, everybody. But yeah, so I'm sure if you guys have seen this book before, like Adam was saying, on the main book, there's 4 people working on it. So this is the main book. We have this beautiful Simon Bisley cover, and Adam's back.
I'm back! Trevor, I just wanted to give you a heart attack there. Just had to see if Trevor was paying attention. Thank you for covering, Phil.
Yeah, no problem. That happens.
Yeah, what I was trying to do is I was trying to get back to there's a couple of panels that really caught my eye. And
let me know.
We've talked about the creative teams before. I know Joe Ball made a contribution to this.
Hell yeah. He did a lot on this book. It was awesome working with him. And like you were saying, it could get kind of hectic, you doing stuff like this. Mm-hmm. But working with everybody, it was a breeze, man. It was cool kind of wearing a different hat where you like managing multiple creative teams at once.
Yeah.
And it was a really pretty cool process, and not a hassle for me at all.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, you learn a lot and managing different creative teams. And it probably gives you a little bit of confidence also to be able to let whoever's falling, there's always somebody who's going to fall behind
Yeah.
and somebody who's going to be ahead. And whoever's kind of falling behind, you can kind of tell them, look, we have a couple of other creative teams going, and you're who I'm worried about right now because you're behind, but everybody else is kind of caught up.
Yeah.
But, it gives you a little bit of managing the herd, and it makes for better communication sometimes. And then also, like, God forbid, if somebody can't finish something, it's possible to replace them, and it doesn't like throw you off by a year or something. And you're not thrown off at all. You're doing great on production with this. It's great. This is a money shot. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I like Joe Ball's stuff, but sometimes like something he does really jumps out, and he's also tough to color. Because he does, so much detail. It's very good work, and you want to do it justice. So, nice.
This was a beautiful, and it was so cool to see this come together. Because, like you said, he could be tough to color, and he puts that detail in there. He loves his lines. He loves his ink on the page. And I've been, we were good friends and working together on this thing. So when he sent me this page, it was all kinds of lines. He was showing me the process of him going, and he just lays it down. So I was kind of worried about how it was going to look in color, but our colorist is just amazing at coloring Joe. I think it's some of the best color work that we've seen on Joe Ball's, inks to date.
Yeah, it's a good relationship, and just my 2 cents on it. I had somebody turn down work once because there was too much work in the coloring. And they're like, well, I don't think I can really do this. I was like, what's the problem? They're like, well, I mean, this is a lot of coloring. I was like, well, what if we go up 50% on the rate? Is that okay? And they were like, oh, yeah. Is that possible? So sometimes it's just communication of like just making sure people understand what you want from it.
Right.
But also kudos to your colorist on this.
And Adam, this was colored by the same colorist that colored Magic Cop. So he did the Joe Ball story, and he's hungry. And I always, like, even before I started working with him on the Lost Pages for this wild card story, I would always say, every book that Eugene colors is totally different thematically and looks different. Like, you can't tell it's colored by the same person. So,
I was talking to Graham last night, and we were looking at a piece in Chanu, his cover for, one of the covers for Chanu, it was like bluish and there's a house.
Yeah.
And I just kind of was like, I got the impression that they knew each other a long time because it was so well executed, so that, like, one thing, guys, when you're working, producing a comic, the most fantastic thing to be able to do is to go back to creative people you've worked with before and then just quote, like, do the next one, because people understand what you want, like, in the work, because otherwise there's so much conversation that needs to happen back and forth. If something's got to be done like right, and it's a little complicated. But what, I'll show you the piece I'm talking about, because it really is impressive as hell, and it goes to the conversation. You know a lot about, you're learning, and already a lot about production. So it's pretty, it's neat to have the conversation, and I think it's interesting for people to kind of listen and learn a little bit. And this is just something, talking to him last night. So this was the piece we were talking about.
Right.
And he was explaining how, modern colorists will do oversaturation, which, to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what he means, but he keeps talking on. He's like, because he's like, look, the gradation is something you really want. You really want to show depth. So this, look at how finished this is. That's something else about Graham's, Nolan's work is it's clean like a whistle. His stuff is clean. That's his style. It's not like, super Greg Capullo, or even in the case of Joe Ball, I'm thinking about Tim Vigil a little bit. If you know Tim Vigil's work with Faust, it was kind of like NC-17 type of content, but you'd be very interested too. Do you know Faust?
Yeah.
Okay.
That book, Vigil's awesome.
It's a little bit esoteric, but Tim Vigil, he's still doing some work. He's still doing some, maybe get him to do some stuff. But anyway, he was explaining, he's like, we do give each other some back and forth, but he does understand what Graham is looking for. And he said his color theory knowledge is excellent. But what he was explaining was there's a 3-dimensional aspect when the rendering is done. Actually, just with proper color theory, more traditional color theory, and you get
Right.
this. Don't you feel like he's like, it causes more engagement also, when your reader is looking at it, because you feel like you're in the scene.
Yeah,
like I'm a little I feel like I'm standing behind the Shanu guy, and he might see me and like rip out my throat or something.
Depth is what you want.
Really brings you into this scene, and then I love snow. I got to do stuff with snow. Matt Martin's Snow book, but I got to do something. With snow.
We have a story in here that takes place in wintertime in Chicago, and it's snowing. It's pretty cool.
I'm literally getting a piece of paper to write down snow, just so I can write it down in a proper place later. Yeah, I really like snow. So it looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's I don't know. There's something magical about snow. So it's a cool thing to use. Sorry, go ahead.
Shadowhawk in the chat had a question.
What up, Shadowhawk?
He wanted to know if there was a silhouette trading card, because another cool thing we did is every time we added a story, we added a new trading card to the characters, so a little bit of backstory on them and get a cool pinup shot. So there is a silhouette trading card. He said he only got 8, and that he was missing the silhouette one. Yeah, the silhouette was only a week 1 exclusive. So people who backed the first week in the campaign got this Andrew Huerta silhouette trading card. And the special thing about this one is it has that soft touch laminate to it.
Wait, you're showing the special thing about the silhouette trading card that nobody can have now?
Yeah, no one can have it now.
What are we teasing him? We're teasing Shadowhawk?
Yeah, so this is the Andrew Huerta silhouette card.
I'll make him give it to you, Shadowhawk.
It has a special coating on it that feels like the cover, so you know what the cover feels like. It's a soft, covered, velvety. But we're going to offer this in a pack for the next campaign that you guys will be able to get. It won't be free. It was free for this one.
All right.
First week.
Not free is a reasonable price. Now, is this also Joe Ball?
No, this is my girl Maria. She's a local over here. I've known her for years. She's an amazing artist. Joe only did that wild card story, but Maria the Wolf is so cool. She does these bombastic, muscled out characters, and this character is really fun. It's the character's called Krimstone, and the story is about this girl named Taz, and she has an imaginary friend. They grew up together, and she kind of loses him as she gets older. She forgets about him, but he's in her head fighting all of her inner demons for years.
What a great guy.
Yeah, and then tragedy strikes, and he comes back looking like a jacked monster because he's been, working out in her head, and he's like off the wall. He's kind of has the attitude of like Lobo, so he always wants to get into a fight. So that's him in her head right there.
But he's there protecting her.
Yeah.
So tragedy strikes her.
Yep.
And then he manifests outside of her head.
So he's still in her. She could see him again and talk to him and stuff. And when he's around, she gets like super strength, and then they eventually become crime fighters. But Dan Frege did a kick-ass trading card for us for Krimstone.
Frege is amazing. Is it at the bottom?
He's awesome. Yeah, it's that middle one. If you scroll up.
Oh, I passed it.
You're right. There's all the trading cards right there.
Frege.
So there's the middle center is the Dan Frege trading card.
Not the people one.
No, the one right above it.
Right above it. Middle center. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's a little smallish. That's why. But then again, I can't see very much. So.
Frege and Yaki did that for me. Yeah, this was a crazy project. Between the trading cards, the bonus comic stories, and the main book, we had 25 creators on this. Between colorists.
It's fun.
Artists. Yeah, it was super fun.
How did you keep track of all of it?
With style. That's how.
Usually but at work you deal with a lot of complicated different contributions to things and stuff? Or?
Not really. I just kind of learned on the fly to do that,
You kept a list, the spreadsheets, something?
Spreadsheets for sure, yeah. My brother does all the finances and spreadsheets and stuff. So he's got that on hold, and I deal with communication with all the artists and getting
Spreadsheets
things.
are good for to-do lists, and Google has these great shared spreadsheets.
Yeah.
They're really great for notes. Adam is too precious for the Shanu to hurt him. Thank you, Eric. I feel like you, as a dinosaur, would protect me from the Shanu.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Eric's the man.
Yeah, he's good people, Eric. Good people. Guys, if you can share, we do have the link for Lost Pages in the description, but if you can share it in the chat, that'd be great. And also the link for Magic Cop 2, if it's possible. And if it's not asking too much, throw an epicmermaids.com in there too, just to get the word around about the mermaids. Little mermaid action. Yeah, I love these big, ambitious projects. And I think it's great that you executed on this. People are getting the books. Your feedback is great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
On your backer total. Look at this, 23 grand or 23,495. So like 23 and a half. And since it closed, and it continues to go up, up, up.
Yeah, we're almost to 500 backers. Like you said, this was an ambitious project. We, wanted to kind of go overboard with the content we were providing for the fans, because this is the first, start of this universe. It's going to be an ongoing series. We really wanted to lay the foundation. So that bonus comic, as you can see, that double page spread right there, that is the fold out cover for the bonus comic. Joe Ball did that fold out cover. So
when you say fold out, is it like a triptych or?
It's the front and back cover, I should say.
Oh, a wraparound.
Wraparound, yeah, you're right.
Wraparound cover. Did you go with Mixam again for printing?
I did. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, you
pointed
us into that direction.
Did I?
Yeah, you told us because I think Vinny told you, and you're
Vinny found Mixam. Vinny Tartamella found Mixam and brought them into. Vinny worked with them. Vinny had researched a lot of printers and found them, and they were like, from the blue. Nobody had heard of them before.
Yeah. And
I started talking to them, and then I was like, these guys are good. People should know about them. So I did a video or two about them, and they really have been good. I have heard from some people had, a couple of issues with them. Some of it is like, you have issues with any printer. I had an issue with them, and they made it right. My issue was with College of the Dead book 1. They printed a couple of hundred copies for me, and about 30% of them had problems with the binding, where there was like scrapes on the binding, and it just looked like they didn't adjust the perfect binding equipment enough. So I showed them pictures and video, and they reprinted a bunch and sent them, and it covered it. But that was like, as a old publisher, when I was printing it, I was like, initially I overprinted, so there was no business interruption. Like, everybody got what they needed, and everything was on time, and that was neat. I admire this. I think you guys, to go from Magic Cop, which is a good solid, here it is, it's our first effort, it's a lot of fun, it's a passion project, to now releasing all these characters. They look like all this is well thought out. It's all carefully done.
Thank you.
And when you do something like this, you look at the Ultraverse. We did a Triumphant Comics universe, but Ultraverse, you're familiar with that? I don't know if everybody's familiar with that. But there's always like a couple of ones that wind up being a hit because of the way it just kind of comes together.
Yeah.
And that's unpredictable, because you can have an idea for something, right? And then by the time you start making it, it's not necessarily going to be what you thought it was. It's going to evolve. It's going to be, or if it's any good, it's going to be something unique from when you first started out.
Right.
So there are going to be a couple things that they're just really, really cool. And it just works, and you definitely have that. I think you have a few things here that, are you getting a lot of character specific feedback where people are like tending towards like this purple guy, this purple.
Yeah. In fact, Shadowhawk just posted in the chat here. He said Krimstone and the Silhouette are my favorite. So
there you go.
What we're going to do is probably in a month or so, because we just shipped out, I think, 4 more copies at the beginning or the end of last week, because people are still backing, which is amazing. We're going to send out a survey to see whose characters are favorite, and that's actually going to impact some scenes in the next book that we put out, because I have some scenes in there where we could show off some specific characters, and whoever the audience likes the most, we're going to put in there, so they get, you know, a little bit more time. And it definitely, feedback from the fans is amazing. You know, it definitely always listening to the fans, their opinions on things. So if there's a majority of people that like one character, like the silhouette, more, then I think that's someone we're going to, you know, bring out some books quicker. And like you were saying, things change, right? You know, some
They
characters rise to
evolve.
the top. Yeah.
And
And
also there's different characters like have different lives to them. You know,
yeah,
and not every character is going to be Spider-Man. You know, this is something okay, it's a shooter story. Shooter, this is back in the early 90s. And he was just saying, like, you know, one of the things he was most proud of about Valiant when he was there was all the books sold plus or minus within 20%. You know, people were interested in the line. They did have their favorites, but it doesn't make sense to make every character Wolverine. You know, you want to have Kitty Pryde, you know,
exactly.
as weak ass as Kitty Pryde seemed. You know, I still brought the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine miniseries, whatever it is, because, well, they had interactions. And then the stories between the two of them are very different than like Wolverine and the Punisher. And like, you know, not you, but you can still have a comic books, you know, point of view. It's not going to turn into like, you know, SJW love stories or something like that.
Exactly.
But still, you have different dynamics between those characters.
And
So you can have.
that's what this book is all about. You know, each story crosses a different genre. So, you know, you don't have a book filled with Wolverines, you know, these like, you know, badass, rage-filled characters. And that's what I wanted to do, to get these different artists to kind of capitalize on the different themes and the different genres. Like in our bonus comic, we have a kind of anime manga type character who's a vigilante, kind of like inspired a little bit by Speed Racer. And I got Kyung Lee to draw it, you know, and Kyung Lee is,
He,
you know, the manga lord right
he
now.
drew it in this book.
Yeah, he in the bonus comic, I'll
Okay.
pull up, I'll show you guys. He actually worked with me on a character called Drift Legend, and he's a badass manga crime fighter, and he's still in this universe, and eventually we'll see him. But you know, this is all in black and white. The pages, we have a beautiful colored cover by Mike Murphy.
Yeah, I like Mike Murphy. He's good people.
Yeah, check that.
Nice.
So
how many pages did you get by Kyung in there?
So each of the stories in the bonus comic are 4-page shorts.
Excellent.
So, yeah, and he was so awesome to work with. Let me show you another page here.
Yeah, everybody loves him.
He was so professional, helped me out a lot with some questions I had for other things too. But
Yeah.
I mean, look at that action is so cool.
Yeah. Boy,
So
he really knows his stuff.
If you love comics, this is a book for you, because it just spans all types of different genres.
Yeah. This is, you know, Phil is somebody to watch, you know, him and his, well, brother too, but you know, we'll do a show talking just about Magic Cop 2 as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this is really, really well put together.
Thank you.
And it's very cool to do the bonus comic, and that you got, you know, the best contributors you possibly can. You really thought about all the characters.
It's another character.
What's up with the people? Tell me about the people guy.
Yeah, the people is a really interesting character. He's kind of like my take on the Punisher and Daredevil, kind of mixed into one, a little bit of Casey Jones. So he is this character here. You can see his close up. He is a courtroom sketch artist, and he watches these trials and, you know, draws the people on trial. And then by night, if, you know, a lot of the times they'll get off the hook by paying the judge off to get out, he goes and serves up justice.
$5,000, most judges let you go.
Yeah.
No big deal.
And so, as you can see here, he takes it to the streets.
That's cool.
He's got his baseball bat in hand that says "We the People" on it. He's just a badass, and I really want to explore this character because I really like characters like, you know, Daredevil and the Punisher, Casey Jones, like that.
Yeah, street level stuff. Who did the art for that? Looks pretty cool.
So this was an interesting thing. Like you were saying, a lot of things changed during the process. The art was originally supposed to be done by E.J. Morgis, who's an amazing
he's
artist.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's working with Ethan on a lot of things. So he did the layouts for this, but he couldn't do the interiors because he was working on some Cyberfrog stuff. So
Yeah.
I got an artist who actually won the fan art contest for the Lost Pages. His name's
Really?
Avery Butterworth, and he just killed it on it. He used the layouts, and
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm saying that he's pro.
yeah, he's we're gonna be working with him a lot on
Yeah,
the
he's
Lost.
ready to go.
Yeah,
He's ready to work.
and he did this. I bought the actual piece that he did for the fan art contest off of him for the
That's
silhouette.
really nice.
Yeah.
Good for him. Butterworth, you said?
Yeah, Avery Butterworth. He also did the trading card for it. This is the one
Hey,
of the.
Butterworth. You know what? Grab him up to do stuff. And
Yeah,
he can, if he can write, he can certainly do his own stuff or maybe work with you on a project developing something.
yeah, he's gonna be on the second Lost Pages book with us. He's gonna be doing
Okay.
a lot of stuff on
Yeah,
there.
he's ready to get serious. He's ready to definitely if he can put time into it, he's ready to do something. That's some great work.
Yeah, so a lot of people, even last night on Ethan's stream, Trent Kanuga brought up that why aren't people doing characters like the Punisher now that the Punisher is kind of getting canceled at Marvel because of all
Yeah.
the crap going around? And I put in the chat, and I'm like, we got the people. So the people hopefully could be like the indie Punisher.
Yeah, the Comicsgate Punisher. Why the hell not?
Oh yeah.
Leg Kick says, really enjoyed the book. The only one that I liked less was the black and white story. They kept saying the same thing over. I don't know what it is.
That's hilarious. So that the cool thing I'm hearing is a bunch of different people like a bunch of different characters. Some people are like, oh, I thought I didn't really connect with this character, but I really loved the silhouette. Or other people are like, oh, I didn't really like the silhouette, but I liked this stuff. So it's kind of proving what we were trying to go after here is trying to hit something for everybody,
Yeah, you're getting interest from people, and that's a cool thing. And no one's disappointed. And so people are happy with what they got. It looks like you really loaded up the bonuses and things like that. Like it says, okay, we got that already, but someone else said something cool, and I almost missed it. Need to create an iconic symbol for him, and he can replace the Punisher since Frank has been canceled. Those logos and those symbols are awesome when you can get them right, and that takes a lot. Probably James Dean Anderson would be good to try to think about. It's just there's a lot that goes into each of these things, so that's why it's like so ambitious to do so many characters, and then like each character can have a symbol, and then it gets just so complicated. But you definitely have something great to build on, and your brother is psyched too, right?
Yeah, he did a story for us as well about an assassin character in our universe. Her name's the Pianist. She's like this sexy piano player assassin who uses piano wire to kill people.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. So all these characters that we're talking about right now, most of them he's helped me create. With ideas, costume designs. He's done a lot of the initial design work that I've sent these artists to actually, base the characters on.
What's her deal with piano wire? Why does she kill people with piano wire?
She's a very elegant lady.
Okay. Yeah. And that's her deal.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the main book?
She's in the bonus. So
there she is.
Yeah, there she is. She's in the main book. That's kind of like her turnaround there. She's got this straight razor that has piano wire at the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
Very gadgety, kind of cold-blooded.
Based on a true story.
Yeah, and there's the people.
Yeah, the people's cool.
Yeah, and those logos, like the people logo, kind of, like again that branding, kind of trying to make these characters stand out from each other, a little iconic. And each of the characters actually have their own, logo, as they should, because we want to leave room so we could do spin-offs in the future.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to develop all this, but you're doing it, so that's cool. And this is Drift Legend.
Yeah.
By Baek-Hyun Lee. Yeah, his work is great. People are crazy about him. Cool. When he did add-ons. All right, let's check out tiers and see what's still available. I know a lot of stuff is sold out, which is awesome.
For sure. Yeah, we do a lot of sketch cards for our campaign. So, through hanging out in CG, we've met a bunch of amazing artists. And couldn't have done this, comic without being around the community, because I met I met Joe Ball, I met all these people, Kyung and everyone, and that was through doing the first Magic Cop. So now we're able to put this awesome project together because of that.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got the featured tier is the Bisley signed pack, which there's only 2 left for.
Yeah, there's only 2 left. I think he signed 25 of them, which was amazing. Mixum hooked us up with this because, as you know, Mixum is a UK-based company, but they have printers everywhere across the globe, right?
Yeah.
So we got our stuff printed in the US. But since Simon Bisley is in the UK, I hit up Mixum and I'm like, hey, we're working with Simon Bisley's legendary comic artist, illustrator. Would you guys be able to print 25 of them in the UK, send them to Simon Bisley, he'll sign them, and then collect them and send them back to me? And they're like, yeah, we'll make,
Oh, that's great
for you.
That's great, because that's not something they would normally do.
Right. So
that's great that they could help you out.
So we got those off to the backers as well. Simon, I asked him if he would sign some, and he wanted to read the script first, which was like nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, right.
So I had to gather up the material, send it off to him, but he dug it, and
cool.
He kept a copy too, which is awesome, and
that's great.
Signed them for us.
Very cool.
So there's 2 of those left. You get a lot of stuff with that. You get both of the books, a poster of the Simon Bisley cover. The book is signed, and you get 6 a.m. Comics stickers. Everybody loves 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. is awesome. So that's a folded poster?
Yes, it is tri-folded.
Okay. And is it 11 by 17, or how big is it?
Yeah, it's 11 by 17.
Very nice. Very nice. Very cool. Those are definitely selling out. So just the bonus comic. So is this for people that already backed it, or maybe people that just want the bonus comic?
For sure. So we put this perk up after we started shipping and people were reading it. If they felt like they missed out on the bonus comic because they just got the regular book,
okay,
they could just pick this up. And it's a little bit cheaper, I think, shipping than a regular book because it comes with just the bonus comic. So yeah, check that out. If you guys did miss out, I think you get a lot of extra characters in there.
Cool. Guys. Especially you got the Kyung Lee stuff in there.
Yeah,
his stuff.
So I kind of did it so everybody gets the trading cards. So if you just got the regular book, you might be looking at some of the characters and be like, "Oh, I like this guy," but there's no story about him in here. But get the bonus comic, you'll be able to see more of them.
What's funny? It's like it's the same sort of thing. It's same kind of vibe you get as a Marvel Universe book, where it's like there's a couple of characters that you're gonna love. Yeah. There's a couple of characters you're not going to care about. And there's probably one character you're going to hate. Or that one character that you hate, some weirdo is going to absolutely love.
Yeah, for sure.
The Masquerade. I really love the hat. But you the silhouette is very interesting. The purple guy is interesting. Just immediately visually, it's like, all right, well, what's going on with this character? There's a lot of energy there. It's just interesting. The silhouette is very unique, like you said. He's a living shadow, basically. So what the hell is that? That's interesting. Never really heard of that before. I mean, there are these interdimensional beings that are these living, these shadow people, right? So that I've heard about. I dated a girl actually that believed in shadow people, and she's probably right. But who knows? I haven't seen one since yours, but she used to say she would see shadow people. But that's a whole other story. A signed book, $25, and this is signed by you?
Yeah, signed by myself and my brother.
Cool. Very cool.
Of it. And it comes with bookmark, blockhead, trading cards. You get 8 trading cards with it, so they come in their own little trading card sleeve too.
Beautiful. And this is this doesn't include the extra book?
Correct. Yeah, this is just the main book.
Just the single book. Okay. Very cool. How did people get originally the extra book? Was it a stretch goal, or did you sell it separate?
It was a separate tier. So as you see, the one after digital, it's signed book, bonus comic. So that's both of the books. Or
calling it a bonus. Is it really a bonus, or is it? Bonus means like it's sort of a second one. I don't know why I'm confusing myself with this so much. Well, I guess just describing it as a bonus, like, is it earned as like, hey, you sold a lot of books or you bought a lot of books, so you've now earned this bonus. It wasn't a stretch goal thing.
Companion piece, a companion book.
It's just a second book.
Yeah.
It's not like it was a stretch goal, so we're going to do this extra comic.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
We're selling it. We're making it. We have to cover costs here, guys. All right. Understood. All right. So now you also can get a digital comic. I remember when you first offered this and it was like, listen, digital comic's not going to be that cheap, but it's not going to have shipping.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people, I don't know if they should do this, but I know of creators kind of getting burned on underpricing their digital comics because
Well, yeah, because they charge like $3 or $8 for a
Right.
digital comic. And it's like, well, that's not going to be good for your average revenue. So
the way we see it is it took the same amount of art and writing time and power to put into the story. So, you know, if you go buy a video game at GameStop, it's the same price as if you buy it digitally
digital or
on
physical.
the store.
And a lot of books are digital or physical are roughly the same price.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. You have to be incredibly careful, and you guys were. And just from a publishing standpoint, I love to see stuff like that where people are just like really careful, because if your regular tier is 25 plus, 10 in shipping, and then you have a $10 digital item, you're going to throw your revenue off like in a scary way. And in a lot of cases, people that are buying the digital, unless they want digital, wind up with something they probably will enjoy less, because they're not going to have the physical paper and they're not going to have the trading cards or any other extra perks. It's just digital.
Right.
I mean, what do? Do you send the trading cards as well digitally?
No. It's when you get digital stuff, you don't get any of the extra perks.
Yeah, no extra perks. So you're punished.
So it's a little bit more incentive to get
no shipping. Yeah, I mean, getting we're here for the physical books. We want to keep physical comics alive. Signed book plus bonus comic. All right, we already had our argument about the bonus comic, which isn't that big of an argument, but that's a good one because you're going to get both books, and you have the whole universe.
And I think it's together. It's like 128 pages of content.
It's a lot of content.
Yeah. Again, we wanted to make an impression and let these characters be known to the audience.
Yeah. No, you guys invested a lot back in this, and you'll be left probably with a little money left over because it looks like you've just done everything carefully. But you put so much into this as a real serious effort. This is a very impressive number 2 campaign for somebody.
Thank you, man.
Number 2 in a good way. I'm not saying,
Yeah, no, it's our second one.
You know what I'm saying?
This stuff was fun. This is like kind of the little add-on merchandise stuff we were able to come up with. So we actually, I think I have one of them here. Yeah. These are Krimstone Masks, which Krimstone is that big purple guy, Krim, and the female counterpart, she wears a mask to kind of hide her identity. And so we made these. We were able to print them up and hand sew the edges.
Cool.
And it's a bandana you could wear. And these were kind of, we launched right at the beginning of the pandemic. So
did you do that because of the pandemic, or you were going to do that anyway?
So I think...
Didn't Zach do a couple? And we were all like, what is he doing?
He did gators, right? And so we're like, we were looking at gator things, but I'm like, we could just make these because we're able to print on material at my work. So I was able to do that. Sew the edges up and make like little bandanas. So this was like a prototype, but the real one has the Zaid Comics logo and the Krimstone logo on the other side. It's really cool seeing people wearing these, like Shay Zombie had posting about it.
Hey, Johnny is dressing up like your characters no matter what you do. You can't stop her. Just compulsion. But yeah, and
fun merch.
Guys should subscribe to her channel. It's Red Valkyrie, right?
Yes, Red Valkyrie. So what we're trying to do is kind of like make little extra merch add-ons that other people don't have. We're going to be doing that with Magic Op 2, which we'll announce soon. But you're
comfortable being full screen, right? You're not like, please take me off the full screen. You're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Good for you. Dude, keep going the same direction. Stay away from drugs and fast women and just keep building, man. You guys are doing great. You and your brother.
Thank you.
Sure he's a big help here. Yeah, I'm really happy to see it. Very, very happy to see it. So both books and Krimstone Masks. That's damn cool. Get the mask. Scare your mom with it. You know,
John Nayland's got one. He bought one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He's a great supporter. He's great people. Both books and Krimstone Masks, $60. Not bad, including the fold-out poster, signed book, signed bonus comic, no doubt, right?
Yeah.
All right. Fold-out poster and Jesus Christ, these eyes. Krimstone Mask. I am not getting glasses, not until it's an absolute emergency.
Don't do it.
That one's doing pretty. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not fucking going to get old. I'm not doing it, guys. I recommend you guys don't get old either. Be like me. 2 books, 2 bonus comics, 2 posters, $85. So 2 of everything.
Yeah, this was the double pack. I was, I'm glad people picked this up for, I'm assuming for their buddies, or if they want to keep one as a collector's item. I think that's always awesome.
Is it shipping cheaper? Like maybe people jam together on foreign shipping?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what they were doing.
Sometimes it's like Ethan says, they just like, I like that young guy. Let me just, spend a lot of money on what he's got.
And this was really interesting too with the retailer pack. Kind of the same thing happened with Magic Cop. We didn't have anyone buy the retailer pack until we started shipping, and then people came and bought this retailer pack, which is you get 4 of everything basically.
Kind of inexplicable, but maybe when they know it exists, it's like, oh, okay,
yeah, which I'm fine with that. I think that's really cool.
That's fair. Okay, that's the retailer pack. Original silhouette page and book. So you're getting original art of the silhouette. Everybody likes the silhouette, so those got to start selling soon.
Some beautiful pages. So we have a lot of this. The difference between this and Magic Cop is Magic Cop's done all digitally. This stuff we were actually working with a lot of artists that did things traditionally. So we sold some awesome pages. I think we sold some Krimstone pages on Ethan's art auction as well, and then some pages for Joe Ball's stuff. Everybody loves Joe Ball's work, so yeah,
we sure do. Yeah, Joe is good people. All right, what's that last? A wild card page. All right, so you have this kind of by title. That's cool.
Yeah, for the different stories, and then the last big perk is actually the cover of the Simon Bisley cover.
Oh, you were selling the Simon Bisley cover?
Yeah. So if anybody wants it.
How much is this Simon Bisley cover? 5 large?
Yeah.
All right. Biz don't come cheap.
And it's like if it doesn't sell, I'll be happy because I'll just keep it because I'm such a Bisley fan.
Yeah, I have original art on some of the stuff I've produced, zombie stuff, and like the zombie covers and some of the mermaid covers, and I always think I'm like, well, I made a deal with the artist, like I can sell it and maybe I can make a profit, but I'm like, I don't want to part with it. I just kind of can't part with it. So yeah, you maybe put stuff up for a price where it's like, all right, don't be ridiculous. If wants to give you that money, you can make a lot more comics from it. All right, well, this is fantastic. We're gonna guys, definitely check this book out. One thing I know everybody can do is share this campaign on social media. It really helps. Just even sharing it on Twitter, just click, thank you, help make it happen for whatever it's going to be. That is a huge help, believe it or not. And by the way, it just boosts us too as creators when we see people sharing our campaigns. And we also don't forget it, by the way. We remember the people that support us. And it's a good feeling. It's a great feeling. So Magic Cop 2, White Lines from Z Comics. Coming to you soon. Be sure to sign up on that list. White Lines.
That's right, man. I mean, that's the reason why we chose
guapos. Guapo means sexy, guys. So now you've learned a lot just in the last 60 seconds. So White Lines, there's going to be cocaine involved in this story?
Yeah, this is going to be a drug story. The first one was called
Holy shit, you could ship this with like little bags of powder.
Well,
not cocaine. Do not ship cocaine. But you could make mock cocaine. You wouldn't do that? You have the opportunity to do that and you wouldn't do it?
A little pixie dust. We'll see. So the premise of the first book was called Drop Dead Legs. And it was basically about mermaids getting their fins cut off and given legs.
Don't listen, girls. Don't listen.
Becoming sexy prostitutes. And this one is called White Lines, sticking with that 80s kind of like a musical iconology.
Ring ding diggity dang dang. Guys, Magic Cop 1 is like a long time ago. That book already shipped. Everybody likes it. This is the sequel, Magic Cop 2, White Lines from Zade Comics. His brother is going to be involved in this. Your brother's drawing it, right?
Yeah, he's drawing the whole thing. Here's the first book, We're shipped. This is
We're
Drop Dead Legs, episode 1, as you can see, and it's thick too. I mean, this is a 92-page monster.
THIC?
What's that?
THIC thick?
Yes, it's thick.
I
It's
don't
two
know.
C's on it. Two C's.
Two C's.
Brandon's doing the interiors.
Mhm.
We have Pablo Romero on the cover because I mean he just kills it on that
He's
80s
the 80s
cover.
guy. He is the
And
80s.
I'll show you the full cover of
Oh,
this.
awesome. Love to see it. Here it is. Oh,
Check this out.
bing, bang, boom. Looking good.
Yeah, white line. So we got the whole team on the cover this time. We even got O'Hara, the giant leprechaun over here.
People like the leprechaun.
Yeah.
So there could be a Magic Cop Lost Pages universe crossover, right?
We'll see. Maybe. I mean, if you
Everybody gets curious,
I would say get the Lost Pages, get that bonus comic, and then get Magic Cop 2. You might see some characters that you're familiar with.
All right, so things could be happening there, guys. Guys, the sign up link for Magic Cop 2 is in the description. If anybody would, is Blevins gonna make Blevins a mod? But if we could share the link, guys, if you wouldn't mind, for the sign up for Magic Cop 2.
Yeah, Eric's been sharing that in there.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks, everybody. You're really helping so much to do it. And when we all pull together, like, it really helps. We can make things happen. You guys probably know I'm doing the Mermaids. That book is almost done. We're adding a map. All right, Phil.
Oh,
yeah. You know what?
Cool.
Because JJ Jackson is my production person.
Yeah.
She's also a colorist. She used to work at Marvel and Valiant and Defiant, those comic companies. And she's also a cartographer. And I was like, what the hell's a cartographer?
Wow.
She's like, a map maker, dummy.
Yeah.
I'm like, JJ, I know what a cartographer is, kind of. I heard it once before. So it's a whole world of mermaids, but we deal with like 5 different major areas in this whole fantasy world. So there is a logic to like where the places are and how the geography under the sea it kind of is. And like why there's a rift between here and there. And they've developed this whole world. There's a lot going on. Let's put it that way. We spent like 3 years just doing so much work developing the mermaids. And but one thing with JJ is she will always make a project take longer because she's always tweaking things. When she worked at Valiant 1.0, they called her the tweaker because she would always add stuff and kind of make this aspect better and that aspect better. Mm-hmm. She actually did all this. She didn't do the coloring, but she did the coloring design. She called the first couple of pages to like design what the look of the world was. And then we hired another colorist and she oversaw her to execute on it and make it look sharp. So that's my book. That's a link for that's in the description, epicmermaids.com. This is scheduled to ship April 2021, but we'll probably be shipping shipping in February, a little earlier.
Nice.
And Phil, I'm adding an inch. I know that's what she said, but I'm going 8 by 10 rather than 7 by 10.
All right.
So with one extra inch of width, we'll do the panels gigantic, and we'll see how people like that.
I like to hear. Yeah, it's all an experiment.
Yeah, exactly. But I kind of get to do. It's not magazine size. I don't want to do a magazine, but it's with that extra width, it has a feel of like a treasury edition, cool. Which is kind of neat. And we're looking at maybe doing a coloring book because this guy Billy keeps asking for coloring books. Not Tucci, but just there's a couple people that have asked me like, well, you have all this really cool black and white art. Are you going to make a coloring book of it? And the answer was no. This art's going to be in the making of edition, like 20 pages of it. But we keep getting asked for coloring books, so maybe I have to get into a.
Dude, that's all. I think there's a good market for that. My buddy, Passion for Drawing, he did. Oh yeah, he did a coloring book. Here it is.
Actually, I gotta hit up Passion. He's a good guy. I've had him on before.
Yeah,
I love how he gets
awesome. Snow. This is his coloring book, and he's doing a book called Doom Fate right now, which I lettered. I did the lettering for it.
I've had him on.
Really cool fantasy book. So they're shipping soon. I know he's getting the books from Mixum. Probably in the next couple of weeks, but this is his old like the first CG coloring book, and he's doing a new one after Doom Fate, kind of an adult horror one after.
Holy shit, I didn't realize it. Look at that. See, we learn as we do this stuff.
Yeah, look at that. That's cool.
Art, did you say something bad? I think Adam has a little booger sugar himself. What is that? Cocaine? What are you talking about? You're confusing me, Art. I want Art T. Bareback on my channel talking about one of
Adam's denying that he knows what booger sugar is.
No, I really don't. Is it Coke?
All right, Adam.
You know what's so funny is I get enthusiastic sometimes. It was a friend of mine that was like, "Are you on cocaine or something? What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "No, this is just really cool." Actually, it was when I was in the wholesale poster business, and that was like, Batman posters, rock and roll posters. You buy like 100 of them flat from the publisher for like $1 each. You sell them for like $2.50 to stores or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So always like entrepreneurial kind of hustling around. All right. Is it cocaine? You're not going to tell me? All right. I do think that we should make a Magic Cop, white lines. Like, seriously, as long as it's legally allowed, if you think of it, you have like an incredible opportunity to be able to offer that. It's cheap to make. It's easy to ship. And it's just the printing of the bag that we have like a Magic Cop white lines limited edition.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's worth thinking about. Let's run it past your brother next week.
I'll ask him tonight.
A whole Magic Cop conference. Tell him Adam said we have to.
I'll bring it up tonight on the stream.
We can argue about it next week, and we can ask the chat what they think. Maybe we can get Frege in on that one. Get it.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah, I'd love to come back with my brother to talk more about it.
Yeah, your brother's such good people. We got to get him on. All right. So guys, Phil is going to go. But what I'm going to ask you to do is Phil's going to go over to his channel too. He does a stream do you do it every Monday night?
Every Monday night at 10 Eastern, like 10 Eastern.
All right. He talks about a lot of fun stuff. It's a very cool channel. We've got to subscribe to that channel. And it is simply Zaid Comics, right? On YouTube?
That's right. Yeah. In about like 12 minutes, we'll be going live.
Okay. In about like 12 minutes. So subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications. Please do, if you don't have time to watch a show, I know you just invested an hour with us, at least subscribe to Zaid Comics. It's a huge help. It's a little thing you can do, but it's a big thing to us. I mean, if we see we got 2 new subscribers one day, that makes our freaking day. You'd be shocked. Yeah. So, by the way, don't unsubscribe just to mess with me. Yes. Don't do that. But when you subscribe, it is a big help, and it's really appreciated. Look at this like young comic creator guy, and he's working hard, him and his brother, supporting Comicsgate, building up opportunities for people, making good comics for all of us, inspiring other people. You know what I mean? Good people. Definitely someone to support, working really hard, and obviously just the guy that loves comics. And we didn't get to talk about it much, but Phil's actually damn good at writing as well. He knows his writing. He knows his stuff. So you should be reading his stuff. So definitely check out the Lost Pages, and please do sign up for Magic Cop 2. You do not want to miss it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we didn't cover?
I think that's it, man. Thank you so much for having me back on. I'm glad that you're back. You've been gone for a while.
Yeah, no, brother. I am back. I'm in the thick of things. It was if I don't stay engaged constantly, I fade off because I do have other stuff going on. But it's like I love comics. I love you guys. I love Comicsgate. Great people, and we're gonna get the momentum going and do more good things. And so much cool stuff to be done. I have a lot of other projects I'm working on for Comicsgate. I'm going to do my best thing. I've had everything I've launched at Comicsgate so far has been stuff that I've had in the works for a long time. So it's not been that I've been able to really design something for what I want to do for Comicsgate. Yeah. So I have the opportunity to do that now. And I can't be thankful enough for it. So I really love it too. All right, guys, we will see you again soon. Tomorrow night, we're going to support Mark Middleton with his book, Grave Robbers.
Great book. Passion for Drawing is the artist on that.
Oh, excellent. Passion is good people too. I got to talk to him, catch up with him. All right, guys, have a great night. We will see you again soon. And you know how I am. If I don't see you, I will miss you. All right, see you guys.